What is up, Ivy Leaguers? We have a heck of an episode for you today because guess what? Today is arguably the best week of college football so far. Arguably the best week of college football in a long time. So let's jump right into this thing because I'm only got time to cover 2 games for you because I have a lot to talk about for those 2 games. All right, as you know, the game is tonight, and I'm not talking about Michigan, Ohio State. I am talking about Alabama versus Georgia. And if you think I'm kidding saying it's the game, it's the game. All right, this rivalry for the past really 10 years has been next level. These 2 teams seem to always face off, and if it's in the regular season, then it is a showdown, but it's typically in the SEC championship or the playoffs. And let me just break it down real quickly for you. Both of these teams could easily win this game or could easily lose this game. And I'm just going to break it down for you real quickly. All right, let's look at Georgia real quickly. 1, a defensive lineman on Georgia does not have a sack this entire season. There has not been a sack by a defensive lineman on Georgia this season. That's not normal for Georgia, and that has been big in some of their games this season. 2, their offense isn't what it typically has been. All right, they were able to put up points against Tennessee, but that's because Tennessee's defense played horrible the entire game. 3, they do not have a veteran quarterback at the helm, and that is important. Gunnar Stockton, while he's made some great throws this season, he's also made some poor throws this season, some poor decision making. Look out for that. Now let's look at Alabama. Let's look at their weaknesses. All right, I just gave you Georgia's weaknesses. Let me look at Bama's weaknesses. We don't know if they're coached by a real person. All right, at this point, I'm convinced DeBoer might be a robot because he doesn't have any emotion on the sideline. So we don't know if their coaching can lead them to win this game. 2, defense. They don't have a run defense, quite frankly. Their run defense has been pathetic all season, and that's coming from me. Now, they're getting Tim Keenan back, their big nose tackle, which should help with that, but Georgia has a really good run offense. And if you can't stop the run against Georgia, they're going to beat you. And so Alabama has to find a way to stop the run, quite frankly. 3, can the offense get going? If the offense doesn't get going like they have in the past couple of weeks, they won't win this game. Alabama, Ty Simpson has to win this game. He cannot rely on his defense to win this game. Ty Simpson has to be the one to say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show the world who I am. If he goes out there and does that, he is the Heisman favorite going into next week. All right? Ty Simpson, it is Ty Simpson's time. All right, and let me go off into a little rant real quickly. All right? Tune this in. Someone needs to show DeBoer and the Alabama football team this right now, all right? I am wearing the black hoodie for you, Kalen DeBoer, because I am rooting for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to do everything right as an Alabama fan, even as an analyst, okay? But you got to go and prove it to me, buddy, all right? You haven't proved jack, diddly, or squat yet. Great, you won a couple of home games last season. Awesome. Can't win a road game. You lost to 3 unranked teams last year? Was that it? At least. You have to perform on the road in the SEC. This is not the Pac-12. All right? We're not playing Arizona State on the road. We're playing Georgia on the road. Georgia might be the best team in college football. They might not be, but they might be, depending on which Georgia team shows up. So if you want to prove something to me, Kalen DeBoer, prove that you can win. Prove that you can show emotion on the sideline. And I'm not talking a little head nod when we do something right. I'm talking about when a player makes a mistake, you grab his face mask and you yell at him and shoo him out. That is what coaches do at every single level of football. You cannot be Mr. Nice Guy as a head coach in the SEC. It might have worked at Washington, but it doesn't work at Alabama. You think Bear Bryant was a real nice guy? Let me tell you, he wasn't. Read his book. 2, let's look at away from Kalen DeBoer. Ty Simpson. Listen to me, Ty. All right, you got to see this. You're the leader. You are the captain. You're the captain of the ship. Right the ship right now, all right? I don't want to see you looking like you have deer eyes on the football field tonight, because that will not win you this football game. You've looked good the past 2 games, but then again, you've played UL Monroe in Wisconsin, all right? I want to see you look like you did against Wisconsin and UL Monroe against Georgia, a legitimate opponent, an SEC powerhouse. I want to see you tear apart Kirby Smart's defense, because Kirby Smart's defense isn't what it used to be. Find your guys. You've got guys that'll back you up. You got Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and much more. You've got your starting running back coming back today in Jam Miller. You've got the weapons. Utilize them. Trust them. Throw a 50-50 ball, because guess what? Ryan Williams, he catches those 50-50 balls about 90% of the time. He's good with his hands. Now, utilize him. All right, Ty? You're the captain of the ship. Lead them. And if DeBoer's not going to choose someone out, Ty Simpson, then you have to be the one to do it, Ty. That's how it works when you're the quarterback. You are the leader of the team. And if your coach isn't going to do it, then you have to. You got to do it, Ty Simpson. All right, that's my little rant for you. All right, I had to say that. So now let's go back to analyzing. All right, Georgia's pass defense versus Alabama's pass offense. Georgia's pass defense hasn't looked good this season. Plain and simple. It hasn't looked good. They got burned against Tennessee. They were lucky to get out of Tennessee with a win. And quite frankly, Alabama's passing offense the past couple of games has looked really, really good. And Ty Simpson has looked like the most accurate quarterback in the SEC. Now, of course, that is, skewed by inferior opponents, but still. So I think this game is going to come down to 3 solid plays. All right, that's how Georgia-Alabama always has been. That's how it always will be. All right, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Obviously, y'all know I'm biased. I posted the whole thing that said I wasn't biased. I am. I'm not going to lie. I am. But guess what? It doesn't matter. In a game like this, you have to make a decision. You have to say, who's going to do it? Who's going to push harder? Because both teams are good. All right, talent isn't an issue in a game like this. But the question is, who wants it more? Is it going to be this guy or this guy? And I'm going to tell you this right now. I think Alabama wants it more. I think Alabama needs it more. I think Kalen DeBoer needs it more than Kirby Smart does. And if Kalen DeBoer doesn't win this game, he's got to basically win out to stay at Alabama. And so I think Kalen DeBoer says, no more Mr. Nice Guy. And I think he goes. And I think he beats Georgia. And I think it pushes us to get better every day. That is what I think. I think Alabama goes into Georgia, into the blackout, and beats them. I think that they beat them down so badly that Kirby Smart has to go back and figure everything else out. I think that Ty Simpson is a surgeon with the football tonight. And I think that Ryan Williams is revived and will do something tonight to win this football game. That is my take. I'm not going to give a score because I don't know what the score is going to be. Alabama wins tonight. That's that. Now let's move on quickly. I'm going to go over the other game, big-time game tonight. Penn State versus Oregon. It's at Penn State, whiteout, best atmosphere in college football by far. Let me tell you this. Oregon going in there, they've played inferior opponents, so has Penn State, quite frankly. Neither team has really gotten a real test yet. I think that Oregon's going to come in here with this high-powered offense, and it's going to get shut down by Penn State's crowd, and I think they're going to get shut down by Penn State's defense. Penn State's defense has looked good for a while now. I think this is the game that James Franklin finally figures it out with Penn State. That is big. Penn State wins. Penn State's offense, I think, will be able to take apart Oregon's defense in a good way tonight, and I think that'll be the key to the game for Penn State, and I think Drew Aller shows why he came back to Penn State tonight. Penn State whiteout. Penn State gets the win. That's all for today, Ivy Leaguers. Until next time, this is Ivy Taylor signing off.